Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to make, I think they call it a penny stove or a nickel stove or something or other. It's just an alcohol cooker, and it can be made from any aluminium cans. I was originally going to do a video saying how these just don't work reliably when you're making yourself, but I realised there's actually a bit of a trick to it, and it's pretty simple. And just put it simply, you don't want to make the alcohol cooker too deep. You want a fairly shallow alcohol cooker, so that it'll work not only at lower altitudes but higher altitudes up in the mountains. So anyway, I'm just going to quickly show you how they're built, and then I'll show you how they work. Change the bit out on the Dremel thingamajig. Okay, so the top of the cooker, you're going to want a filler hole. That'll work. Now for the, got some mold in it. For the bottom, now this is the second time I did this video. I need to try and widen out this bottom piece enough so that that will slide in there. So I'm going to use another can. Twist it around a bit. Hopefully that'll smooth it out enough and widen it so I can get it to fit together. Wow, okay, that was a little harder than I remember. Anyway, now I'm going to press it down nice and tight, and just finish off the edges a little bit like this, sort of crimping them over. Alright, so I've got the finished, not the finished cooker, but anyway, that's about the right depth. And now I built up that one. You'll notice quite a bit of difference in the depth of the cooker. So originally I had tried making them like this, and I thought, okay, I'll make them a bit bigger and I can fit more alcohol in them. They'll cook for longer. Good in theory, but the problem is it doesn't work at high altitudes. And I think the reason for that is you need enough heat, heating up the alcohol so that it can turn to vapor and actually, make a flame. So now I've just got to put the little holes in around here, and then we can try them out. Okay, now I just got to drill some very small holes.
No.
Go on, repeat that. I dare you.
Don's the only person who gets excited about a power outage. He's lazy about a lot of things, but not about this. He's like, power's gone! I get to cook like a man. It's ridiculous.
Alright, power's out. And here I am. So we were in the middle of cooking when this happened, so we kept cooking. And here is the little alcohol burner. Yeah, it's not very good. Okay.
Shall we show off, please?
Tom Shalou. Okay.
Turn it off. Boring.
Tom Shalou is off. So, can you lift up that pan just so I can show them? That's too bright. Okay.
I would be more excited if you were showing them how to cook vegetables.
Show the light. Move the light. Okay, so that's the little alcohol cooker. Yeah, it's too bright. This one's a bit better.
Fine.
Okay,
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Because the point of it is obviously to cook the meat, not to show the lights.
Yes. Okay. Alright, meat is cooking. Power's out. We're prepared. Are we?
We are prepared. I'm actually impressed. If I was here by myself, I would be eating rice for dinner.
Yep, you would be.
Semi-cooked rice for dinner.
Yep.
And maybe banana and an orange.
Alright. Okay, so the power's out. And right at dinner time, so we're in the middle of cooking something, and we're all on city power here, so we are cooking the veggies on the outside grill. And inside, we've got the So yeah, we had rice cooking and veggies and meat, trying to make some sort of, what are we making? Kimchi?
Kimchi, like, well, we're making something with kimchi.
Okay, so got the meat cooking, got the candles going, and I only had one cooker on the outdoor grill, but inside we've got a, does that show up? This is one of those penny stoves, alcohol stoves that you see on the prepper channels. Anyway, just made from a couple of aluminium cans with a bit of alcohol. And doing the job, cooking dinner.
The bottle opener. Like it's in there.
You think I get my pocket knife? Yes. Pause. Okay, so just recently I'm out here in the garage making a homemade penny stove, nickel stove. I think there's also all sorts of different names for them. I just think of it as an alcohol cooker, and in Australia these things are actually called methostoves because the alcohol that's used is called methylated spirits, which is basically the same stuff as denatured alcohol in the USA. So anyway, I'm out here just minding my own business, building a little homemade penny stove, and she comes out and makes fun of me. And it was only a few days after that we had a power outage, and I actually got a chance to use that for real. So, and she was reasonably impressed that it actually worked. So the alcohol cooker, Metho stove, they got a lot of advantages. One, they're very, very cheap. I think this one is a deluxe model and it cost me all of $10. I think this thing cost me $3. Getting harder to find them now in the stores. You know, used to be any camping or army surplus store would have these things going really cheap. Now they're getting hard to find. It seems like every store you go to that sells camping gear wants to sell you a $100 stove. But anyway, so I like these. Very cheap. The fuel is also very cheap, and you can buy it just about anywhere. So it's either denatured alcohol, methylated spirits in Australia, basically pure alcohol. Could be ethanol, could be methanol, whatever. Very clean burning. It doesn't give off a nasty smell, and it's also very quiet. Like with your propane stoves and your multi-fuel stoves, by the time you pump them up or get them working, you can actually hear that rush of flame or gas exiting the cooker. So they're very noisy, and these are very quiet. Also, disadvantages. The disadvantage is, one, you're dealing with a very flammable liquid fuel, so you've got to have a way to store that, carry it with you for usage. Does not work well at very high altitudes, very cold environments or windy environments. What I've found, even with the commercially available ones, what I've found is they need to have a bit of, they need to heat up, they need to get warm in order just to work properly, and that seems to be more the case at lower altitudes, in my experience. Now, I mentioned it at the first part of this video. When I made this, I originally wanted to make one that held more alcohol in it, but the problem with that is that it didn't, the whole cooker didn't heat up enough at my altitude and current temperature to work efficiently. So I found if you're going to make them, just make them shallow. They don't hold as much fuel, but they'll actually work a lot better. And if worst comes to worst, you can blow out any residual flame and just refill them. So anyway, so how to use them. Just going to fuel these all up, show you how I extinguish them. You do want to fuel them up all the way. Most of the time they don't start properly if they're only half full. That's what I found anyway. I guess if you've got a big cooking pan, you could probably put a few of these underneath it. It would work reasonably well. So with the homemade one, homemade cooker, you notice that I topped it up until the fuel is, well and truly above the filler hole. And you actually want that. You want a bit of spillage, not too much spillage. Just leave that uncovered for now. That's the way to start them. And then, so they start slow. And it takes a bit of time for them to build up their heat and get working properly. And you'll actually, once they're working properly, you'll see the flames coming nicely out of these little holes around the outside. And they make, you see this one's just gone now. This one's still heating up. Okay, and you see once they get going, they provide a nice flame, nice cooking heat. And now this El Cheapo one, the $3 unit, I think when I originally bought it, I think it came with a fold-out metal frame to sit in, but they were never very good even to begin with, so I've lost that or thrown it out. But they also came with a little mini fry pan thing, and that's to extinguish the flame. Doesn't do it all the way, so you still got to blow it out. Okay, now this would be normally hot if I hadn't just lit it, but so I can move that away. Show you these other two as they get going. It doesn't show up well in the video, but the homemade one, I can cover up, push the penny, or in this case a quarter, over there, and it'll start building up a little bit of vapor pressure inside, and eventually the flames will start coming out those holes there. Might have to cut out some of this video. This has taken a while. Like watching paint dry. See that one starting to, there we go, it's up and running. So normally when it gets to that stage, it starts coming out all the little, what they call them, venturi holes or something, but anyway, then it's fine to put your cook pot on, and it's still heating up. Notice how that went out. I put a cold tub of water on it, and that was enough to slow down the once again, this is the This is the problem with high altitude and cold environments. But that should get going if I left that a bit longer. Way to, I'm just going to move that over here. Let it go. Now if you made your own, a quick way to make a cooker is just a couple of bricks. That's working really well. So, quite functional. Okay, I just blew that out. The other one, this other one's got another thing here. It's supposed to extinguish them somehow. I think this is the deal. Okay, then it's extinguished, and it's actually got a seal in there, so after you're done with it, you're supposed to be able to screw it on, seal it up, and not waste any of that alcohol that's in there. So I actually wish I could buy a nice quality brass one of these, but anyway, so that's the alcohol cooker. Yeah, I think as far as I've done a lot of lightweight camping or peak bagging, rock climbing, and sometimes you want a stove, but you're not really situated long enough in a place to warrant anything fancy, and these alcohol cookers I think are a great choice for that. So whether it's emergency, your bug out bag, or just something that you've got a cooker that you can use, I think these are an amazing little device. Okay, have a great day. Okay, just one last consideration. I don't think I mentioned it anywhere else, but it's, I think, very important. As like an emergency cook stove, as a prepper stove, for your bug out bag, or for keep it in your bug out vehicle or whatever. Something that's really good about these alcohol cookers is they burn cleanly, so they don't give off any smoke. They don't give off any smell. There's very, very little smell. So that's actually really important, because you can smell wood smoke a long way away from a campfire. And another common micro stove popular with backpacking and stuff is these, you see that little solid fuel stoves. They use a little cake of solid fuel, and you can cook with that, and they're popular with hikers, and I think they should be, one of these should be in your emergency bag anyway. But that solid fuel, that hexamine, gives off a very distinctive and powerful odor. So it's anybody that's ever used them would recognize it as a hexamine, and be able to find out where you're cooking your breakfast. So yeah, this one's just dying out now.